Hey, what's up, YouTube fam? It's Ben here. Welcome back to another flow. As always, we got new classes here every Wednesday and every Sunday, so please feel free to subscribe if you've been enjoying the vibes around here. With that being said, today's class is going to be very fluid, very energizing. We're going to find quick movements. We're going to move with the breath. We're going to keep things pretty simple and take it back to basics, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be an easy class because the goal is really just to get into our rhythm and to get into our bodies and move within the present moment. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started in a child's pose. Knees come wide, big toes set back behind you. Ground the hips further down into the mat, reach the hands out in front of you. We won't be here for too long, but it's a great place, a great opportunity to ground our bodies, to notice how we're showing up, starting to feel the hips expand, starting to feel the shoulders expand away from the body. And take a quick body scan, notice where you're feeling tight, where you're feeling fresh and good. Either way, not having any judgment to those results. And then take a little breath scan. Notice if the breath feels full and fluid, or notice if it feels choppy and tight. Again, no judgment either way. It's just an opportunity to see how we're showing up so that we can be more educated about where to direct our energy as we start to move. Keep reaching the right hand out in front of you for child's pose, but then take a big circle sweep with the left arm, reaching it up, internally rotating, and then releasing the back of the left hand toward the right hip or right glute. Just opening up the shoulder socket. And take a big circle sweep the left hand back down to the mat. Good. Left hand stays out in front. Take a big circle sweep. Right hand opens up, internally rotates, and then shifts over to the left glute or low back area. Then a big circle sweep, externally rotate, and release the right hand forward. One more time, right hand stays. Big circle sweep, left hand. Internally rotate as the back of the left hand lands toward the right glute. Big circle sweep to return. Big circle sweep on the right hand as it rotates and finds its way toward the left glute. And then a big circle to release. From here, we'll come right into a downward facing dog. As you land in your down dog, take a few breaths to get out any movements that feel necessary to you here. So for me, it always feels good to just kind of freely shift the weight around. Of course, the first time landing here, it feels like a pretty big stretch on the backs of the legs. I'm feeling the hands and shoulders start to get involved. So instead of holding one still position, it can create a lot more space and a lot more energy and a lot more education and observance to shift the weight around and notice what kind of sensations that brings. And just being here. And now we'll start to root toward a still down dog position. So feel the heels pressing down, spread the fingertips wide. From here, look out in front of you in between the palms, rise up high onto your toes, bend the knees, and then take a bunch of steps, walk the feet up to the hands, forward, fold. When you get there, there's an option to take ragdoll, simply bending your knees, clasping opposite elbows, and then swaying the torso side to side. I'll also invite in a more energetic shoulder stretch if you'd like to clasp the hands behind the low back and lift the palms overhead to get into the shoulder blades. There's no right answer. Just find a stretch that feels good, most of all in the backs of the legs, that feels strong in the feet, and that allows you to warm into the moment here. Again, any micro movements are more than welcome. You can see me kind of shaking my knees around and swaying my weight side to side. Again, it just helps me get into not just the backs of the legs, but all parts of my hamstrings. You can start to feel the shins opening, the calves, the muscles around the ankles. Let it be soft. Let it be grounding. And we'll flow right into our half sun A's. So from here, as you inhale, find a halfway lift. Extend the spine forward. Maybe the palms draw onto the legs. Find a flat back. Take another breath in here. And then exhale, release to fold. Start to inhale as you roll up to standing. Reach the palms up nice and high. Maybe gently press the hips forward as you lean back. Take another breath in here. And exhale, fold forward. Let's find our rhythm. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, palms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, palms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, palms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, palms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, palms overhead. Exhale, fold. Beautiful movements. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Last one. Inhale, rise to stand, palms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, palm the mat, and then step back into your high plank shape. Try to create more space in this high plank, bringing the feet wider. As you can see, my feet are almost at the back corners of the mat. Probably 2 feet between my feet. And I'm using that to create space and create more strength in the legs. When I broaden my 4 points of contact, to me it brings more stability, but it also provides more opportunity for broad engagement. Externally rotate the arms so the biceps point forward, triceps point back. Drive the ground away, fill the space between the shoulder blades. We'll be here for 3, for 2, awesome job, for 1, lower the chest all the way down to the mat. Oscillating cobra, fingertips come off the top corners of the mat at about 10 and 2. Let's move with our breath. As we inhale, drive through the fingertips, lift the chest off the mat. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. 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 Exhale, release. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Palms come down to the mat outside of the chest. The toes tuck behind you. First, flex the legs so much that the knees lift off the mat. Elbows point back and hug in toward the midline. Shoulder heads point down. Drive up to a high plank. Shoop. And then find your downward facing dog. Settle back into your down dog shape. We're going to go through some full sun A's now, of course, slightly modified to bring more mindfulness and intention into the sequence. Play around with some new movements, see where you can go, and let's do it. Inhale, rise onto your toes, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step, hop, float, feet to hands, top of mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand overhead. Listen carefully. Exhale, chair pose. This is one of those shapes that we're modifying by adding it into our full sun A, because in my opinion, it brings some great engagement into the legs. The full sun A's can be a little reliant on the arms, so let's find that engagement. As you'll see on the screen, I'm finding buoyancy in my chair pose, kind of rocking the hips up and down to create more space. Sink the hips a little bit lower. We'll be here for 3. Make sure you're breathing for 2. 1, fold forward and release. Shake out the legs. On your next inhale, find a halfway lift. As you exhale, step both legs back to high plank. Take a breath in a high plank. As you exhale, drop the knees, send the hips back toward the heels. Think puppy pose. Toes are still tucked. Hands are reaching out in front of you. From here, pull yourselves forward into a knees, chest, and chin position. So knees, chest, and chin are down on the mat. We're using this to create a subtle back bend, using the strength in our back, not using an intense sort of foundation here. From knees, chest, and chin, find your upward facing dog. So first step is release the tops of the feet down to the mat. Second step is to just pull the hips through as we lift the chest. Take a deep breath in here. And as we exhale, find your downward facing dog. Beautiful movements, everybody. And that's our flow. Let's go ahead and find it with a little bit more rhythm. So inhale, look forward, rise high, bend knees. Exhale, step, hop, or float, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to stand. Exhale, sink into your chair pose. Take an inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palm the mat, step back to high plank. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, drop knees, send hips back toward heels. Inhale, pull yourself through, think knees, chest, and chin into an upward facing dog. And then exhale to your downward facing dog. When you get there, take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Inhale, rise high, bend knees, look forward. Exhale, step, hop, or float, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, sink the hips, chair pose. Inhale here. And exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to your high plank pose. Drive through the mat. Take a breath in. Exhale, drop knees, send hips back in space. Inhale, pulls your being through. Think knees, chest, and chin into an upward facing dog. And then exhale to a downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Inhale, rise high, bend knees, look forward. Exhale, step, hop, float, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, palms overhead. Exhale, sink into chair pose. Take an inhale here. Exhale, fold, and release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, step back to high plank. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, knees drop, hips send back in space. Inhale, pulls yourself through, think knees, chest, and chin into an upward facing dog. And exhale into a downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Inhale, rise high, bend knees, look forward. Exhale, step, hop, float, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, palms lift. Exhale, sink into chair pose. Take an inhale here. Exhale, fold, and release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palm the mat, step back to high plank. Take a breath in high plank. Exhale, drop knees, send hips back to heels. Inhale, pulls yourself through to upward facing dog. And exhale, sends you back to downward facing dog. Pause here and breathe. Notice how the body's doing. Notice how the heart rate and breath are feeling. And just sit in observation for a couple moments. Notice how maybe you can intentionally modify the breath to be more grounding, to be more stabilizing. The breath really is the connection between mind and body. It's what allows us to find presence in our movements. But either way, you're doing a wonderful, wonderful job in your flow today. Look forward between the palms. Inhale, rise high onto the toes, bend the knees. As you exhale, step, hop, float, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, palms overhead. Exhale, sink the hips in the chair pose. Bring some space between the feet so they're about hips width distance apart. Find length in the spine here. Palms lift up or they can release to heart center. We'll hold this shape for 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep breathing for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, straighten the legs and fold forward. Option for crow pose, bakasana here. Option to simply step back to your downward facing dog. If you're going for crow pose, bring the knees to triceps, triceps, knees. Look out in front of you by a foot or so. Make sure there's space between the fingertips. Make sure you're externally rotating like we talked about in the beginning of class. Lift maybe one heel off the mat, lift maybe 2 heels off the mat. There's no judgment, there's no worries here. If you're in crow, we'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can step back, you can float back or shoot back. Either way, maybe go through a vinyasa, and we'll meet in a downward facing dog, knowing that we are all a work in progress. From downward facing dog, lift the right foot up to the sky, then bend the right knee, open up through the right hip. Option to simply find some movement here. Option to drop the right foot back behind you for flip dog. If you're in flip dog, use that to create space in the chest and mid-body. And then we'll all return to a 3-legged dog with the right foot lifted, squaring off the hips. From here, bring the right knee closer into the chest. Find some buoyancy in the left leg, a little bit of bounciness. And then take a big step right foot to right thumb and rise up to a high crescent lunge. Palms lift overhead. Just use the next couple moments to work into your balance, your foundation. Notice what kind of energy is extending through the left leg here. Notice what kind of energy is pressing and driving through the right foot in front of us. Breathe. Take a breath in here. Take a breath out. Drop the left knee down to the mat. Keep the left toes tucked behind you. Then drive back up to a high crescent lunge. Take another breath in here. And as we exhale, open out to your warrior 2. Feel the right knee gently pressing out to the side. Again, on the screen, if you look up, you'll see that I'm taking some kind of micro movements, some little pulses in this warrior 2. And that's because it just helps me get further into my hips. On your next breath in, straighten the legs and lift the hands overhead. Clasp the hands and push up to open the shoulders. And take another breath in here. And as you breathe out, release back into your warrior 2. Find a peaceful warrior, reaching the right hand up and back. And then find a side angle, right elbow to right knee. Lift the left hand overhead. Take 3 big circles with the left arm once you get there. And then once you finish 3 circles, take 3 in the other way. Once you finish that, reach the left hand overhead for side angle. Let the right arm reach overhead to match it. Work into the challenge for 3, for 2, for 1. Peaceful warrior, straighten your right leg to reverse the triangle. Take a breath in. As you exhale, rotate into your triangle. Right hand down, left hand up to the sky. You can rest your right hand down on your right shin. If you have a block or any props, this is a great place to utilize them. Take a breath in here. And as we exhale, we'll find this modified pyramid pose. We'll keep the legs and hips squared forward. You can imagine the leg positioning is like we're in high crescent lunge. We're just kind of straightening the right leg instead. Fingertips meet the mat. Of course, you can bend your knees as much as you need. From here, we will find that high crescent just by bending into the right knee and lifting the hands overhead. Take a breath in high crescent. Exhale, palms down to the mat. Step back to high plank. Take a breath in high plank. Exhale, drop knees, send hips back in space. Inhale, pull yourself through to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. As you inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky, bend the left knee, stack the hips, and maybe work into your flip dog. Maybe stay here. There's no worries, there's no judgment either way. Just go where it feels available to you. We'll all start to come back through flip dog. Square off the hips and then bring the left knee in closer to your chest. Find some buoyancy and bounciness in the right knee, kind of like a spring. And then take a big step, left foot toward the left thumb, rise up into your high crescent lunge. First couple breaths are to work the foundation here. Notice the energy in the legs. See where you can relax in the upper body. Take a breath in here. As we exhale, let's drop the right knee down to the mat. Then we're going to drive back through the right foot to lift up into our high crescent. Take one more breath in, and then exhale, we'll open out to our warrior 2. Again, any micro movements are welcome here, maybe some pulses, maybe just shifting the weight around, feeling the foundation in our feet. Inhale, straighten legs, bring palms overhead, and then push away when you clasp the hands, palms facing up. Take a breath in here. Exhale, release down into your warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, side angle, left elbow to left knee, right hand reaches overhead. Take 3 big circles with the right arm. After 3 circles, switch directions, 3 more. After those 3 circles, reach the right hand overhead, reach the left hand overhead, work into the challenge for 3, 2, 1. Release and shift back to peaceful warrior, straighten out the left leg, let that effort go. And then rotate into your triangle pose. Left hand down, right hand up in some capacity. Open up through the hips, open up through the heart. You can have a bend in your left knee if you want. You can shorten your stance if this feels a little bit too expressive for you. Take a breath in. As we exhale, close things off, rotate into your modified pyramid pose. Again, the right heel is still spiked off the mat here. So we're using that to, again, imagine our legs are in that high crescent orientation. We're simply straightening out the left leg and folding down, whereas in high crescent, we bend into the left knee and lift up. And that's exactly where we're going next. We're bending into the left knee and then lifting right up to crescent lunge. Take a breath in here. Exhale, palms down to the mat, step back to high plank. Breath in and high plank. Exhale, drop knees, send hips back in space. Inhale, pulls your being through, upward facing dog. Exhale, shifts it back, downward facing dog. Pause here, take a few breaths. And that is our flow, yogis. So we're going to go through that same flow, about 1 breath per movement. So we're going to use that to create rhythm, to create energy, to create some fluidity for ourselves. Explore, see where it goes. Work into your true nature. And know that you're beautiful regardless. As you're ready, inhale, lift the right foot up to the sky. Exhale, step right foot toward right thumb. Inhale, rise up into high crescent. Exhale, drop left knee down to the mat. Inhale, rise back up, high crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten legs, bring palms overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior, lean back. Exhale, side angle, right knee to right elbow, and then reach the left hand overhead. Reach the right hand overhead as well. Work in the challenge for 3, 2, 1. Peaceful warrior, and then straighten the right leg as well. Take a breath in here. Exhale, rotate into your triangle pose. Take 1 inhale in triangle pose. Exhale, fold over your right foot, spike the left heel as we square the hips forward. Take a breath in here, and a breath out. Breath in to rise up into crescent, bend into the right knee, lift the hands. And then breath out, hands down to the mat, step back to high plank. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, drop knees, send hips back to heels. Inhale, pull yourself through to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Inhale, left foot up to the sky. Exhale, plant left foot to left, or left foot to left hand. Inhale, rise up into high crescent. Exhale, drop right knee down to the mat. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten legs, lift hands. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, side angle, left elbow, left knee. Reach the right hand overhead, and then reach the left hand overhead. Challenge yourself for 3, 2, 1. Peaceful warrior, straighten the left leg. Take a deep breath in. Exhale into your triangle. Take an inhale here. Exhale, release to fold over your left shin. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Inhale, high crescent lunge, lift the hands. Exhale, palms down to the mat, step back to high plank. Take an inhale in high plank. Exhale, drop knees, send hips back to heels. Inhale, pull yourself through, hovering over the mat into up dog. And exhale into down dog. Beautiful movements. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. 1 more, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Last one, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let's keep moving. Inhale, right leg up to the sky. Exhale, right foot to right thumb. Inhale, rise up, high crescent. Exhale, tap left knee down to mat. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten legs, palms overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, side angle, left hand overhead. Reach the right hand overhead as well. Challenge for 3, 2, 1. Reverse it, straighten out the right leg, lean back. Take a breath in. As you exhale, triangle pose. Take a deep breath in here. As you exhale, fold over the right shin, pyramid. Take a deep breath in, a deep breath out. Inhale, shift forward into high crescent, palms lift. Exhale, hands down to the mat, high plank. Take a breath in high plank. Exhale, drop knees, send hips back. Inhale, pull yourself through to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale, left foot up to the sky. Exhale, left foot to left thumb. Inhale, rise up to high crescent. Exhale, drop right knee to mat. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten legs, palms lift. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, side angle, right hand overhead. Lift the left hand overhead as well. Challenge for 3, 2, 1. Reverse it, release. Straighten out the left leg, take a breath in, and then rotate into your triangle. When you get there, take a breath in. Exhale, fold over the left shin. Shift the hips to square forward. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Inhale, shift it forward, rise up into high crescent. Exhale, palms down to the mat, step back to high plank. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, drop the knees, send the hips back in space. Inhale, pull yourself through to upward facing. Exhale, find your downward facing dog. When you get there, take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Last round here, y'all. Find your rhythm, work into the movements now that we know where we're going. Inhale, right foot up to the sky. Exhale, step right foot to right thumb. Inhale, rise up high. Exhale, drop left knee to mat. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten legs, palms lift. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, side angle, left hand overhead. Reach the right hand overhead, challenge for 3, 2, 1. Reverse it and straighten the right leg here. Take a breath in. Exhale, rotate into your triangle. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold over the right shin, modified pyramid. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bend right knee and lift up into high crescent. Exhale, hands to mat, step back to high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, drop knees, send hips to heels. Inhale, pull yourself through, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, left leg reaches up to the sky. Exhale, plant left foot to left thumb. Inhale, rise up high crescent. Exhale, drop right knee to mat. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, open warrior two. Inhale, straighten legs, palms lift. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, side angle, right arm overhead. Reach the left arm overhead, challenge for 3, 2, 1. Peaceful warrior, straighten out the left leg. Rotate into your triangle. When you get to triangle, take a deep breath in. Deep breath out, fold over the left shin for modified pyramid. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Inhale, shift it forward, rise up into your high crescent. Exhale, hands down, step back to high plank. Take a breath in high plank. Exhale, drop knees, send hips back to heels. Inhale, pull yourself through to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Look forward, rise high, bend knees. Really find some buoyancy in the legs here as you spring. And then take a bunch of steps. Walk the feet up to the hands. Forward, fold. I invite you to find a Padahastasana, gorilla pose here by sliding the hands underneath the feet for a wrist stretch. Of course, any other binds or versions of this forward fold are always available. Just choose something that feels particularly nice to you in this moment. I know for me, after all of those high planks, after all of those vinyasas, it feels nice to stretch out my wrists and provide some relief in that manner. Breathe deeply. Find the inner softness. Release any tension that's being held in the neck, jaw, shoulders. Just let it be. Palms down to the mat. Bend your knees if you need. Step back to high plank. We'll be in this high plank for 10, 9, 8. Last upper body challenge for 6, 5, 4, awesome job, for 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower the chest and belly all the way down to the mat. When you do so, find a locust pose. Hands reach out behind you. Lift the chest, lift the legs. Feel the shoulders plug onto the back. Option to bend your knees and reach back for a bow pose. And this is the only time we're doing this today, so work into your fullest expression. Find somewhere that feels sustainable for you, because we'll hold it for about 15 or 20 seconds. That's enough time for a handful of deep breaths, so try to breathe deeply and then use that breath to take you into a further place in the physical being. Beautiful work. About 10 more seconds. Couple more deep breaths. Wherever you're at, take one more deep breath and lift to your highest point. And then exhale, release everything. Shift the hips side to side. Come into a Sphinx pose. Forearms are down on the mat, elbows below shoulders, wrists in front of elbows. I like to tuck my chin closer to my chest, which creates more length in my neck and my upper spine. I like to bring my feet wider apart, which brings more relief to my low back. Simply breathe here into the passive back bend. Or if you'd like to take any neck rolls, either 180 degrees or 360, that is an option here in your Sphinx pose. Catch your breath. Let all of the hard work kind of just wash over you. Beautiful. And then flip onto your back like a pancake. Find Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees out wide. Rest the hands somewhere on the body, somewhere that allows you to ground in. And then from here, bring the feet flat on the mat. The knees point up to the sky. Hands rest beside your hips. It's time for bridge pose, or if you're feeling it, you can go into full wheel by placing the hands above the shoulders. You can even take a supported bridge by placing a block or a pillow underneath the hips. But I will be doing regular bridge for y'all on the screen, so when you're ready, just go ahead and press the feet to lift the hips high off the mat. Work into your version of this back strengthener. Use the foundation of the feet and then integrate through the glutes and through the low back to press up. We'll be here for 10, 9, 8, keep breathing, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly rock the hips down to the mat. Hug the knees in toward the chest and rock side to side. And we'll come back for one more bridge pose. We'll do that by releasing our feet down to the mat, hands next to our hips, and then drive through those feet to lift off into your bridge. Find any variation that you want. I'm going to clasp my hands behind my low back and then bring my shoulders closer together to deepen my shape. And I won't count us down this time, but we'll be here for a similar stretch. So find your engagement and try to stick with it as you breathe deeply. You're doing beautiful work, no matter what your shape looks like. Be here now in the pose. Take a deep, beautiful breath in. Take a big sigh out. Release the hips down to the mat. Hug the knees into the chest once more. From this position, work your way into a happy baby, clasping the outside edges of the feet and rocking side to side. Hugging the knees closer to the armpits, feeling the nice opening in the hips. Bring the knees back in toward the chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze of gratitude for all of those movements. And then release the legs out in front of you. Release the arms to rest by your side. Yogis, awesome job. This is where I will leave you today. You're welcome to linger in this resting position for a longer shavasana meditation. You're also welcome to continue your practice in any ways that might feel good. As always, it's such a blessing to share this space with you. I hope we get to do it soon, on or off the screen, on or off our mats. But until we meet again soon, have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace and love.